battle for supremacy continues on We Play Baton Rouge today as we resume the high school playoffs. Hi, everybody. This is Steve Earle welcoming you to the capital city's very own game show, We Play Baton Rouge. Let's now meet Mr. Question himself, the host of We Play Baton Rouge, Pat Shingleton.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome again to another edition of the We Play Baton Rouge segment here. Yes, we get together to send our contestants over the streets to Easy Street where they, in turn, win those big prizes. You know, yesterday, Steve, we promised that we would announce those big contest winners. Is that right?
That's right.
And we've already, as you saw yesterday, introduced our contestants for today. We'll bring those out in a second, but let's go ahead and take care of some business. Steve Earle, ladies and gentlemen. How about a round of applause for him for who knows what? Now, did you bring those particular questions with you? You're dragging mics all over the place here, aren't you?
I am wired like the $6 Million Man.
All right, here were the questions. The first question was, there was a guy, and he happened to dispense millions out of a bank on a show called The Millionaire. Now, the question was, what was the name of the bank that he did that? Because it's the name of the same bank here in Baton Rouge. The answer is?
City National Bank.
That's right. Max Klinger is seen on MASH. 10:30
right
on TV2. Max has been trying, he's been trying to get out of the unit there on a Section 8. Now, what's his real name in real life? And it happens to be.
I can say that?
Yes.
Jamie Farr.
That was the answer to the second question. That's right. Third question had to do with a gentleman from Louisiana who happened to be the only one to go to the White House from Louisiana, and that's none other than Zachary Taylor. Good old Zach Taylor. Fourth question was, it was formerly called the Railroad Commission, and Huey Long changed it to a name of another commission. What was it? And it happens to be
the Public Service Commission.
Yes. That's right. Now, if you had all those questions, you send them in that bucket right down there, Steve. Pick up the bucket. We are going to select.
This bucket?
Yes. You're going to reach in there and draw out one of the names.
You are going to let me do that?
Yes. And they are going to win
4 days and 5 nights in San Francisco, California.
Nah. They're going to win a Honda Aero. Oh. Second prize. So reach on in there and pull it out, Steve, and we'll find out who's going to win the Honda Aero. These are all correct entries in the bucket right here.
Be still my beating heart.
The winner is Mrs. Joseph S. Torito, who lives on Barclay Drive. How about a round of applause for her? She's watching right now. So, Mrs. Torito, phone number 7690731. We're calling you right now, letting you know that you had correctly answered Jamie Farr, Zachary Taylor, Public Service Commission, City National Bank. She wins the G.N. Gonzalez Honda Aero. Reach in there now for the prize, which is...
This is the trip to San Francisco,
all
folks.
Expenses paid, flight out, flight back, accommodations, and you are going to... It is none other than Stacy Parker. Stacy's in Hammond. Give Stacy a round of applause. Stacy, you and your guests will be going to San Francisco on American Airlines. You'll be staying at the San Francisco Sheraton, and that is a pretty nice prize package. I'm holding on to those because we're going to call them. Take that bucket with you, Steve. Get over there. We got some contestants, right?
Thank you. Yes, we do, Pat.
It's time to move over the streets. Is that right?
Yes, indeed.
Now, we met them yesterday, but we didn't have time to talk to them, did we?
No, we didn't.
So why don't you go ahead and just introduce them, and we'll see who they are. Here we go.
Okay, Pat, we'll bring them back. First of all, I do want to say the principal from your high school told me that the teachers used to give you apples to stay out of the class. Is that true?
You don't believe that, do you, kids? Yeah. Who do we have, Steve Areno?
Pat, our first contestant today is a student at Trafton Academy.
Yes.
She's a cheerleader, also a member of the National Honor Society.
Very good.
She likes to water ski in the middle of winter.
You said that yesterday. That's got to be cold.
Boy, that is cold. Listen, and they can name all the U.S. presidents while writing the alphabet backward.
Now, that is definitely hard to do. Who am I going to say hello to again?
Welcome, Tisha Davis.
Tisha, nice to see you again. Thanks for being back with us today. Stand right up there. We didn't have a chance yesterday to talk to you very much, but your interests obviously are not water skiing in the middle of winter, are they?
No.
What do you like to do?
Oh, I like cheerleading.
Cheerleading for the football and basketball teams?
That's right.
Okay, and Trafton's doing real good out there in their football season last year, didn't they?
Yeah, they're trying.
Well, that's all that counts. You know, even in competition in athletics, you got to have good opponents or contestants. We have another contestant for you. We met him yesterday. We're happy to meet him again today. Steve, tell us who it is.
Pat, our second contestant attends Central Private High School,
Okay.
where he's the president of the student council when he's not playing baseball or basketball. Let's welcome back to our game board, Brian Mock.
Hi, Brian. Brian Mock. Good to meet you, Brian. Step right up there. Brian, we had an opportunity to say hello to you yesterday. Central Private School located where here in Baton Rouge?
Central, where?
Oh, that's right. Well, that's pretty good for me. He's head over the streets all that time. Just checking, Steve, you know? Playing a lot of basketball?
Yes.
Baseball, too?
Off and on.
How about summertime? Any baseball action going on you're participating in there?
I'm playing in men's softball league, that's about it.
Fast pitch, slow pitch?
Slow pitch.
Well, the questions here are fast pitched.
Okay.
So you're going to have to be on your toes here, but you don't have to wear your spikes.
Hey, Wade, come
I'll tell you what we're going to do. You're playing along right with, what is her name right there?
Karen Waters.
Brian, Karen lives on Magnolia Wood Avenue, and she is going to play. She says here, if not selected as representative, I would love to be in the audience. You can come out to Bon Marché and be in our audience anytime. On Thursdays we get together. Tisha, you're playing along with who?
Angie B. Dugas.
That's right, and she lives on Black Oaks Drive. That's our living room players. From the best seat in the house, they too play right along with us. We're going to toss the categories, flip the coin, get the game underway. This is We Play Baton Rouge from Bon Marché Mall. I'm Pat Shingleton, round one coming up. But first, these words.
The late bell rings and round one begins as the high school playoffs continue in just a moment.
Indeed. This is our high school playoff competition going on this week. And we have Central Private, Trafton Academy. I'm going to go ahead and flip the coin, get the game underway here. There it goes. And why don't you go ahead and call it, Brian?
Heads.
As you can see, it's heads. You've won the toss. What do you want to do?
Take the question.
You're going to go first. Tisha, you okay over here? All right. Tisha is ready. Brian's ready. The categories are ready. The game board is ready. I think I'm ready. You're up, Brian. There they go, folks. Here comes Brian over the streets right now. Places Brian and comics and words comes up on the game board. You look them over, and what do you like?
Comics.
Aha. You read a lot of comics. Funny page, huh? Here we go. In the comic strip Peanuts, what's the name of the athletically minded little girl who calls Charlie Brown Chuck?
Peppermint Patty.
Right. Perkins, the first street. On the way to Easy Street. Tisha, the categories are spinning for you, and there they go. Ah, Tisha, they locked down this time on Sports Shortcut TV. Shortcut, as you know, 2 streets if you answer the questions correctly, but TV and sports is there as well.
Okay, let's try TV.
All right, TV comes out. Here we find, who is Fred Flintstone's best friend?
Barney Rubble.
Right, and this first street is up for you. You remember Barney Rubble, don't you, Steve?
Yeah, he used to live next door to me. He always dumped his garbage in my backyard.
Dino dumped his in mine. Back to the game board for you, Brian. The categories are spinning. Here we go. Louisiana Detour and Sports. We check them out. We look them over. And Brian likes what?
Sports.
Sports. Playing a lot of sports. Brian, category is ready. Here comes the question. January 16th, 1974. 2 men, one with the first name Mickey, the other Whitey, are elected to the Hall of Fame. What is their last names?
Mickey Mantle and Whitey Herzog.
I'm sorry, it's Whitey Ford. Whitey Ford, Mickey Mantle. So missed question. Tisha, back to you. Categories are running. Pretty tough under the sports category, Brian, but you got one of them. Detour Sports, Louisiana.
Let's try Louisiana.
Under Louisiana, here we go. A well-known set of historic parishes are recognized east of the Mississippi River and north of the Isle of Orleans. Are they the river parishes, the Florida parishes, the Acadiana parishes, or the Bienville parishes?
I'll say river parishes.
It's the Florida parishes. The Florida parishes, they're located north of the Isle of Orleans and east of the Mississippi River. So 1-1 to score. Brian, back to you. The categories run again for you. Yeah, Brian getting that response from the studio audience. Louisiana Detour Sports pops up there, and he's checking them out. And what do you like?
Let's try Louisiana.
Louisiana, this question. Here we find Zachary Taylor from Louisiana became which president of the United States? Was he the 10th, the 12th, the 13th, or the 16th?
The 10th.
Nah, the 12th. That was one of our questions in the contest as well, so still 1-1. Tisha, the categories run for you. 12th President of the United States, Zach Taylor. And he's from right here in Louisiana. Louisiana's up there again. Detour and sports hits again. And what do you like?
Louisiana.
Here we go. In 1722, Bienville had what Louisiana City declared the capital of Louisiana. Now, was it Lake Charles, Alexandria, Shreveport, or New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Right, 2nd Street is yours. So you move from Jefferson to your 2nd Street, and Brian, it's back to you. The categories are running again. Here we go, Brian. And this time we find things, music, people. Things can be a variety of anything. Persons, places, things. You know about music and you know about people. You look and you select.
Music.
Here we go. Music category. This question. What musical instrument did comedian Jack Benny play?
Trumpet.
It's a violin. Used to come out with a violin, right, Steve? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. So it's 2-1. Back over to you, Tisha. Categories are running for you again. 2-1. Things, music, people. And here you look them over, you find what?
Let's try music.
Okay, music again. This question, here we go. What world-famous pop group is made up of 3 Australian brothers named Barry, Maurice, and Robin?
The Bee Gees.
The Bee Gees is exactly right. Tisha, do you know one of their songs? Do you know any of their songs? You got the question right. I was just wondering if you knew any of their famous hits, the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
How Do You Win? No. Was that it, Steve?
I have absolutely no idea.
Well, geez, you're still listening to Slim Whitman. We're listening for some commercial messages right now. This is WePlay Baton Rouge. High school playoff going on this week, folks. We'll come back and send Brian back to the game board to see what happens. For more of the game show that entertains, rewards, and informs. But first, these words.
Pat returns with more of the high school playoffs right after this.
Travel arrangements for WePlay Baton Rouge are provided by American Airlines. American Airlines, doing what we do best.
We were talking to Brian a little bit about the one sports question coming under there where the 2 guys were inducted to the Hall of Fame in the 16th of January, 74. Mickey Mantle being one, but it was right. I thought you were thinking about Whitey Ford, but it was, he said Whitey Herzog. Now the manager with Cardinals, I believe. Yeah.
St. Louis.
We wanted to mention, we have some real great news, as we said, for Stacy Parker, who lives in Hammond, Louisiana. Stacy, you will be going to San Francisco, California with a guest of yours to stay at the Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco because you're able to answer all the questions correctly in our contest. And for Mrs. Joseph Torito, you'll receive that Honda Arrow from Gian Gonzalez. You're back to the game board, right? Categories are spinning for you. Here we go, Brian. They're running again. Let's see what happens as they move, and they're locking down right now on places, comics, and words. And here we go. What do you like?
Let's try comics again.
Okay, comics was pretty good before. I think Peppermint Patty was the one you answered correctly. In the comic strip Garfield, what is the name of Garfield's owner? Is it John, Jim, or Jason?
John.
Right, Leisure Street. So the categories are running 2 for Tisha. Let's see what happens. You're 1 street ahead now as he went ahead and occupied lead. All streets lead to Easy Street, but we find places up there, comics and words, and what do you like?
How about comics?
Okay, comics again. This question in the comic strip Little Orphan Andy. What's the name of Annie's dog?
Sandy.
Right, you got your next street right there. So a score of 4-2. Back to the game board. Brian, the categories are running for you. Here we go. All right, Brian, hey, places, comics, words pops up again. Seemed to be a popular category today.
Let's go with comics again.
Here we go, comics under this one. In this 1982 film, Muscle Man, Arnold Schwarzenegger plays the famous comic book barbarian who gets lots of revenge. Sounds like Steve Earle. Name the movie, and you'll also name this comic book feature.
Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, Conan. Conan the Barbarian. Very good, Brian. Back over to you, Tisha. Categories are running for you again. Detour. You can take a street away from Brian. Louisiana and sports is there. You're ahead by 1. You'd like to do what?
Louisiana.
Here we go. This question comes out. In 1895, every parish in the state received this weather condition. Can you tell us what it was?
Hurricane?
Nah, it was snow. Every reporting station or every station in the state received this. The city of Rain, oddly enough, reported the record of 24 inches in 1895. Baton Rouge reported 12, Lake Charles 22. That was in 1895. So it's back to you, Brian. Categories are running for you again. Yeah, the game show that entertains, rewards, and informs now finds Brian looking at TV, detour, and music. You can take the street away that Tisha has. You can go with TV and music, but you've got to answer all the questions correctly. Let's see what happens.
I'll take the detour.
Okay, you want to detour her a street? Let's find out what happens. What is another name given to Tiger Stadium or the LSU Tiger Football Stadium?
The Deaf Dome.
What's the judge saying that? He said deaf. What is another name given to Tiger Stadium or LSU Football Tiger Stadium? You said what?
The Deaf Dome.
It's the Deaf Dome's incorrect. That's the Assembly Center. It's Death Valley. Death Valley. So missed question. You lose the street, but it's back over to Tisha. Categories are running. Here we go. Anytime on that detour shortcut category. Missed question. Opponent picks up a street. Places, comics, words. Here we go.
Comics.
Okay, under comics, this question. Answer it correctly. You can head into the winner's circle today. If not, get back over to Brian. Ape was his pet gorilla's name in this cartoon TV series. Can you name this famous cartoon TV series?
Can you repeat that, please?
Sure. Ape was his pet gorilla's name in this TV cartoon series. Can you name the series for us?
No.
It's not no. It's George of the Jungle. George of the Jungle. Brian's still alive. Categories are running for you. Here they go. We find things in music and people, Brian, and what do you like?
Music.
Music it is. Here we go. This question. His nickname was America's Ambassador of Goodwill to the World. He's also called Satchmo. Who are we talking about, Brian?
I don't know.
It's Louis Armstrong. Remember Louis Armstrong? We have to take care of some business. You know, Tisha, you're only one street away from Easy Street, and Brian, you're two back, but you're definitely not out of the game. We have to finish, take care of a little business. We'll be back to do it. And when we come back, Tisha, you're heading to the game board. This is WePlay Baton Rouge High School Playoff. Here's Steve Earle with another announcement. Steve Areno.
WePlay Baton Rouge is taped before a live studio audience. And if your group or organization would like to join us, call 925-8295. Now, right here in Beaumarchais.
Yes, indeed. We were just talking on the way back at Louis Armstrong being the answer to that last question. You remember that song? The guys go, how did he do that? Hello, Dolly was the big one Louis Armstrong recorded, wasn't it,
That
Steve?
was a smash for him.
Yeah, hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. Kind of sang it. I obviously can't sing. Tisha, it's your turn. Categories are running for you. Here they go. Back in the final moments of WePlay. Tisha heading now from East, possibly, to Easy Street, and we find movies, the events in the mixed bag. You look them over. What do you like?
Movies.
Under movies, this question comes out. Here we go. This 1967 movie told about life with a Southern chain gang. Starred Paul Newman, George Kennedy. Name this movie.
I don't know.
It's Cool Hand Luke. Steve Earle also had a bit part in that movie. He played the jail cell. So it's back over to you, Brian. The categories are spinning. Here we go. Things, it's a tough time locking in there. Things and music and people pop, and you look them over. Brian, what do you like?
I'll try music again.
Okay, let's see what happens. The name of this instrument, Brian, comes from the Italian word for small. It's the smallest of the woodwind groups. Can you name the instrument?
Violin.
Piccolo.
Piccolo.
It was a piccolo, yeah. It comes from the Italian word small, and it's the smallest of the woodwind instruments, and it's called piccolo. So back over to you, Tisha. Categories are running. Let's see what happens. We run through places, comics, and words this time. You look them over. What do you like?
Comics.
Okay, here we go, comics. This question comes out. This comic strip taxi driver was originally a bum and was never seen doing an honest day's work. What's the character's name of this cigar-smoking character?
Smith.
Nah, Moon Mullins. Back over to you, Brian. Categories are running. Here we go. Still alive, Brian, if that shortcut caddy. Nah, Louisiana Detour sports hits. You like what?
Sports.
Sports it is. Here we go. Staying away from the detour. What is the horseshoe pitching equivalent of a bullseye?
A ringer.
Right, and you've got Dalrymple. Back over to you, Tisha. Categories are running again. We're 2 streets away from Easy Street for Brian, but we find TV detour music. You look them over. What do you like, Tisha?
TV.
TV comes up. This question out of the slot. Let's see what happens. Wrong category. We find this question. Who was the first woman to anchor a TV network evening newscast?
Barbara Walters.
You know what, Tisha? That's a correct answer, and you're on Easy Street. Yes, indeed. Barbara Walters. And Brian, you did play a good game. We want you to take a look at that monitor right there. We have a prize package lined up I think you're going to like, including some sunglasses for you. Tell you about it in a second, but look right there.
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream, and you've won a 6-month supply of the best ice cream around from Baskin-Robbins. A pint a week of your favorite flavors from that 30 wonderful place, Baskin-Robbins, where quality is served 31 flavors at a time. And you'll also sample the charm of the Old South when you visit historic Nottoway Plantation. Yes, Arlen Deese has restored Louisiana's largest plantation home to its original glory, and you'll be treated to the famous plantation tour and the most enjoyable brunch. Nottoway Plantation in White Castle. It's all yours from Baskin-Robbins, Nottoway Plantation, and WePlay Baton Rouge.
All right, how about that? You like that prize package on Brian? Plus, from Sunny Sunglasses, a nice pair of sunglasses. Round of applause for Brian, and we'll tell Karen Waters your name gets back in the bin as our living room players. But now to Tisha. Good news for you. Watch the monitor. Here's Steve to tell us about the winner today. Steve Areno.
For our winner today, we've got a prize package that sends you to the world of yesterday and the world of tomorrow. For starters, you'll receive a year's membership in the Baton Rouge Athletic and Racquet Club. This $1 million facility features racquetball, tennis, indoor-outdoor pool, diet center, daycare center, exercise room, sauna, and whirlpool. And then, once you're in shape, you can enjoy the charm of the Old South with an evening at Asphodel Plantation. Yes, a leisurely drive north to Zachary takes you back more than a century to a time when life moved at a more unhurried pace. You'll love Asphodel's quiet atmosphere, and you'll feast on traditional Creole cuisine. Asphodel Plantation. Reservations suggested. Call 654-6868. And from the antebellum South to the world of tomorrow, you've won a trip to New Orleans via Metrex. Metrex, the luxury coach service between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, leaves 4 times daily with stops at New Orleans International Airport, downtown, and of course the World's Fair. It's all yours from Baton Rouge Athletic and Racquet Club, Asphodel Plantation, Metrex, and WePlay Baton Rouge. Back to you, Pat.
All right, Steve, thanks very much. So, Tisha, you get to go to Asphodel with your guests for a nice brunch. We can send you down to the World's Fair and also the other prize package. Both contestants receiving from Sunny Sunglasses. Is that right, Steve?
That's right.
You get under these hot lights, you got to do it. Pat Shingleton saying, hey, no matter what game you're playing, play it the best you can. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., right here in TV2. For WePlay Baton Rouge. Bye-bye for now.